Let's talk about increasing our trading profits in this video today. How many of you out there, with a show of hands, are actually struggling being able to stay into your trade for a long period of time to maximize the amount of profits that you can get out of that trade? We really want to squeeze our position as much as we can so that we can basically trail behind price. And I'm going to show you, a simple scalping technique in which you can use to actually stay into a trade longer. How many of you out there are struggling doing this? And if so, this is probably the video for you. So what I want to share with you are just some tips, some advice that may help you out. First and foremost, when you are trading, we always want to figure out the overall direction of the market, correct, right? You've got to understand from a higher time frame, a higher base chart, what the market is truly doing. Are we breaking structure higher? Breaking through levels, making higher highs and higher lows, or is the market moving to the downside? You also need to understand pivotal or transition points where the market is actually reversing. Need to stay in line with the higher base charts. The way I trade and the strategy is all about using multi-chart confluence, using top-down analysis from a higher time frame, marking my zones up, starting with the higher time frame first, and then scaling down to my entry chart to look for an opportunity to go, to trade from, whether it's long or going short. It's all centered around the simple concept of supply and demand, aggressive areas of buying and selling. Now, as a quick tip or piece of advice, number one, what you need to understand and do is be able to, before you get into a trade or a position, understand where you are taking profit from. Always size the market up before you hit that buy or that sell button. Okay, it's extremely important to be able to do so, because that's going to let you know, how much room, how much space do you actually have to take a trade at. Okay, if it's just for a very minute few points, you may not want to do it, because by the time you hit that click sell ask or buy bid, the market has already moved in the opposite direction and going against you. I like taking my trades and measuring them up when I mark off my supply and demand zones, first and foremost, on my higher time frame chart. I need to gauge how much room do I actually have to trade from. Okay, now I'm going to show you also a technique that I use when I'm going about scalping, say for example the NASDAQ futures or any of the other future markets out there. But first, I'm telling you, the number one thing you need to do is see if it makes sense. See if there is a measurable amount of space or room from that zone that you're looking to take a trade from to your profit area. I'm going to show you an example right quick of what I'm talking about. Overnight into the Asian session, I took a opportunity to go short off of my 24 range chart. That's my entry chart. Okay. The reason being is because we were bearish to the downside. The market had reversed right here and was making lower lows and lower highs to the downside. Okay. We pulled back, made a lower high here, and then we broke and made a low right here. We didn't break and take out this low here, but we're still bearish to the downside in a channel. If you have a hard time seeing this, I'll drop a quick channel for you to show you. This is the channel the market is moving in, okay? Overnight, I saw the market pull back right here, all right? So it made a lower high, and then it came and tried to push lower. So I like to call this like a thrust, a retrace, and then a pushback trying to go in the opposite direction, which it pretty much failed to do, but we're not 100% sure if it's going to take this area here out or not. But still, because we're bearish, I'm looking at my lower base chart to identify key areas in which I can capture or take trades from areas of supply. But again, before I do so, I'm going to mark up to see where I can take the trade from based on looking at my higher time frame chart and see if I have enough room to actually capitalize and make some profit off of. Now, because we're bearish here, again, the market made a lower high, and came back and tried to make another, low. Okay, try to make a lower low, but it didn't at this point here. But still, if I notice on my lower base chart that where we had a push down, a pullback, and then the market tried to push lower, but then we have a turnaround, kind of a transition or a area in which the market turned back around. So for example, here we look bearish, right? But if we look to see where the market tried to make a new low, but and then it turns back around and say on the 24 range chart, the lower time frame, we start to form a bullish direction back to the upside. Because sometimes you'll have where the market is bearish, higher time frame, and then look bullish on the lower time frame. If that be the case, then wait for the market to turn back around in the direction of the higher time frame, bearish, take your opportunity going short. So when I saw the market make a structural break right here, make a new low, pull back, make a lower high right here, and then made a new low right here, this is where I went down to my lower base chart to see if I could try to get into an opportunity to go short, to see if the market was going to reverse on the lower time frame 24 range chart and start showing some bullish activity back to the upside, basically where it looks like it's making a reversal on the lower time frame 24 range chart, and then start to move back bearish to where it breaks structure. And then I'm looking for a pullback to go short and aiming for this area right here, the low sitting at basically 21,345. So I'm looking for a pullback first on the lower base chart, where the market is kind of like looking like it's reversing. And then I'm looking for the market to basically reverse again, in a sense, to where it's breaking structure, going back lower, and I'm aiming for this area right here. That's what I'm talking about, aiming or understanding your profit areas, going ahead and sizing them up, measuring them out so that you can know where to take your trade from, not take your trade from, take your trade to as far as profits before you even get to the trade. So once you have seen and identified the direction of the market, I'm looking to go short, but I want to make sure that I do so on my lower time frame chart, which makes sense when the market starts to break structure on the 24 range back to the downside. This is going to be the low that I'm going to be aiming for, and then the market came lower. But of course, this is going to be the first area I'm looking to take profit at. Okay, so now I have identified where I want to take profit at if the market starts to look like it's reversing on the 24 range chart, and then we get breaks of structure coming back down to the downside on the 24 range. Take a look. All right, this is that low that I just showed you right here. Right here. We're bearish on the 24. I mean, on the 120, not the 24. The market turns back around right here and starts to do what? Make higher highs and higher lows. So it's basically reversing from this point right here back to the upside, going bullish. This is the pivotal point right here to where I want to see the market do what? Start to make lower lows and lower highs. And this same area right here is the area on the 24 range, on the 120 range chart, the higher time frame. That would be my first area where I will be looking to take most of my contracts off. If I was trading like multiple contracts, maybe anything more than 2, I'd be looking to take out, basically right here. If you want to take out all, or take out a sizable amount of your contracts and then allow the last bit or last contract to run behind or trail behind price. How do you do that? Okay, so we figured out our area where we're looking to take profit at for the first couple of contracts or majority of our position, right? You got to understand and look to see, okay, we're bullish back to the upside. I need to be bearish though, because we're bearish looking at the overall trend of the 120. So once we start low, lower high, low, breaking structure below lows, I'll look for a pullback to get into a trade to aim for that low right there, because I'm back in the swing or the trend with the higher time frame, 120 range, okay? So once I identified, okay, now we're moving lower, push down, low, lower high, lower low. If the market was to come back right here, well, this right here, I would have went short, but it didn't. It made a lower high, a new low, okay? Right here is where I'm going to go short at, okay? So this would be the supply zone off of the 24 range that I would be interested in going short from. Strictly trading from the 24 range, but overall, I'm trading in the direction, like I always talk about, with the higher time frame. That's going to help you maximize your profits. That's going to put you in the direction of the overall flow of the market when it comes to structure. And that way you can simply be able to move the market as it is, making its descent to the downside. So from there, what does the market do? I'm into the trade, right? Now, I took out right here because it was the Asian session and there's not a lot of volume there. Technically speaking, I had this line marked up when I had already sized out the market for it to come down here, and I said, okay, more likely it's going to come down here and test this area, and it did. But again, I just scalped this real quick. You can scalp from here and take out down here towards the lows, but the overall, be looking from a bigger picture where to really, kind of carry the trade through was going to be down at this area here. This low, which I'm talking about, is right here. All right. Once the market shifts and starts to be back bearish to the downside, pull back to a key area of supply. Aggressive selling, that's high probability, okay? Now, here is the real tip, okay? The biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone who's really trying to maximize their profits and make as much money from a trade when they have done all their homework, meaning you already figured out the direction of the market, which you should be trading in. You've already sized up, where you're going to take a trade from and know where you can, where you're looking to possibly get out of a trade at. Okay. Here's the tip. The tip is learning how to trail behind price, okay? Understanding how to stay in the market so you can capitalize on the movement when it's making its next move, okay? When they pull back here, we're already in a bearish channel on the 24 range, right? This is the low it should be aiming for. The market pulls back right here, and when it does, high probability supply area right here. I like to put my 24 range in yellow. And then once we get the rejection from this area here, the market makes a low, right? And then it makes a lower high here, but it hasn't broken below this pivotal point right here, right? Once it breaks below this low right here, then if you have your stop right here or a few points above that area, then you're going to move it right here, okay? So we're looking to make and place our stop loss and start moving it down every time it makes a new lower high. Low, lower high, new low. I'm going to move my stop. Let me go ahead and like just bring a stop into play. Say, for example, not saying an imaginary one, but one if this was our stop. Once we got to the trade, our stop would be somewhere up in this area here, a few points above our entry point. Then once the market makes a new low, it'll go here. Every time it makes a new lower low, or makes a new, I should say a new lower high, it goes here. If we're going short, going short. If we're going long, then it'd be at the next. Each time it makes a high and a higher low, moving in a break structure to the upside, we move it up. So if the market was doing something like in reverse of to the upside like this, and let's say this was our level right here that we're trading off of, okay? Each time, and our stop would be like right below this area here. Every time it makes a new lower, a higher low, the stop is going to go from here to here. Pulls back, makes a new higher low, break structure above this area, moves from here to here. Just like right here. In this case here, it made a low, lower high, stop moves from here to down here, new low, okay, move it right there. The moment it breaks structure here, then our stop moves down even lower, okay? At this point, we've already come down to the thresh area in which we're looking to take profit from. So if I were to stay into this trade, for example, here and got it, we're right here at, say, 21,393, I could have held this trade all the way down to here, down here around 21,344. I should have done that, but it was in the overnight session. Anything could happen. If this was London, I probably would try to hold it through, but it was Asian. I don't, particularly like the volume so much during the Asian session, so I'm just looking to really scalp and get out of the market. But that's how you really trail behind price to increase your trading profits as the market is moving. And you want to stay in the direction or trade within the direction of the overall higher time frame. Again, we're low, lower high. The market made a low right here. In this area here, as you see right here on the 24 range, this is what it looks like. It starts to make and reverse back to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows, right? Then it topples back down. We get the breaks of structure. Low, lower high, breaking here and here. Now we're back from being bullish back to bearish. And as it starts to move to the downside, I'm looking for an opportunity to pull back to a key area of supply. And as long as it's making lower highs, I'm going to move my stop each time it breaks structure. Low, lower high, breaking structure, move your stop here. Lower high, breaking structure, move your stop here. So from here, here to here, I'd move it 3 times each time it breaks structure to the downside. If it does it again, low, lower high, breaking structure, I'll move it all the way down here. Okay, then we got this run to the downside, lower high. Just keep moving it as the market is moving lower, is what I'm trying to say. But this is the simple scalping technique that I use, and it helps me stay into a trade longer. Even myself, sometimes I quick a quick scalp and I get out, and something I need to work on is being able to, I know how to use it. I have it in my trading plan. It's just sometimes, the market can kind of shake you up a little bit and you want to get out of a trade and take your profits and be out, right? But I just need to learn that if I truly want to be able to maximize and stay longer into my positions, because my goal is really just 1 or 2 trades a day. And if I could really maximize things instead of picking up just like 10, 15 point runs, I could have maximized this and picked up and turned those into like 30, 40, 50, 60 point runs. You know what I mean? But sometimes, you take what you take because the market may look like it's pulling back. Like right here, you move your stop right here, and it came down here, and it starts to pull back. And you're like, oh, no, I have all these profits. The market's pulling back against me. And then, you take out right here because you don't want the market to hit your stop loss, right? No, not your stop loss, but you're still locked in the profit. And then because you lost all this amount of points, and you may be scared that it's still going to continue pushing higher. And then what does it do? It dumps to the downside. It gives you all those points back here where it pulled back at, and now you could have locked in your stop right here. Come down some more. You know, it's just one of those things that the trader in time with more experience, you become more seasoned and get better at really sticking to your trading plan and using the techniques and strategies that you have laid out for yourself. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I dropped two things. I dropped the market recap video from yesterday, and I also posted the live recorded trading session in which I did today here on the NASDAQ. I took, I think, 2 trades off of the NASDAQ within that video. So if you are an ultra elite member or supporter, look, the videos are already posted there. You have, you know, full access to that private community. You already know. Anyone out there who's interested in becoming an ultra elite member, the link is down in the description portion of the video. There's 2 links there. First one is the Discord. The Discord is free. The second one right under that, it says Ultra Elite Supporter or Member. Click on that. Make sure to choose the 3rd tier if you want the live recorded trading sessions, if you want the market recap videos, if you want the video playlist, the trade breakdowns, and a great video that I covered on market structure for anyone that is struggling with that concept. Make sure to choose the Ultra Elite membership or supporter tier. That way you get direct access to it. It's like pennies on the dollar a day, guys. I mean, I'm not here to kind of dig into anyone's pockets, but it's just your way to support me as not only as a trader, but as a content creator as well. As I continue to, you know, make this valuable content and push it out here, okay? Again, it's just your way of supporting me. I can't guarantee anything to anyone because your perspective of how you read or see the markets could be completely different than mine. Maybe you have misconstrued ideas in reference to strategies or mixed ideas of trying to incorporate one strategy into the next. Trust me, the thing about trading is more mental and, you know, more psychology based than just being able to look at the charts and, you know, make a decision. Most people get hung up because they allow their mental space to get in the way of them really seeing things and trading the correct way. I'm telling you now, trade in the direction of the higher time frames. I talk about the strategy. I run through it multiple times in videos here on the channel, especially if you are an ultra elite member, you know, where I break down the trades, the same trades that I post over on the Discord. Okay, you will see me take those in the live recorded trading session videos. You will hear me discuss them in the trade breakdown videos. Even going back to the market recap videos, you know, that helps people because it helps them understand, okay, where they were maybe struggling with or not understanding. Okay, the market is moving sideways. What's going on? I struggled today. I took losses. By me going through those market recap or talking about things in those market recap videos, that may clear up some, you know, issues that some people may have had, like today or yesterday or last week. It may provide answers to things that you may have struggled with, is what I'm trying to say. So that's what the market recap videos are there for. But it also is a way for me to point out potential areas of trade opportunities that I personally did not even see, okay? Or I also talk about the ones that I do take within that video as well. So you get all that if you want to become an ultra elite member. So again, the link is down in the description portion of the video. Outside of that, if you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to sub by clicking the subscribe button down below. Make sure to click the bell as soon as you hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss any of the uploaded content that I post here on the channel. And last but not least, if you found some value in today's video, please do the biggest favor for me, okay? Make sure to click that like button, click that thumbs up button. What does it do? It helps the channel push within the algorithm the video content in which I'm trying to provide and push out there for people, because I want to see people become, you know, well-versed in trading. I want to see them make solid decisions. I want to see people become profitable. I want to see people make something, their dream, and turn it into actual reality, just as I did. It's not hard to do, but you're going to have to put time on the charts and back testing and forward testing. Any strategy, that's what you want to do. Even the one in which I talk about using multi-chart confluence. Confluence is very important because the more confluence you have on your side, the better the trade is going to work out for you. Again, I talk about the strategy here on this channel. If you really want to dive deep and you really want the nuts and bolts to everything, you may want to think about becoming an ultra elite member. That's going to provide additional content to where I go into great depth about certain things, okay? Outside of that, take care, guys. Hope everyone had a successful trading day, and I'll see you in the next one.